Hello, I hope you're having a magical day because we're going to read about Disney princesses in a magical pop-up world. I don't know if you've ever read a magical pop-up book, but they're really cool, and we're going to go into a 3D world of excitement. All right, who's our first princess? The very first Disney princess is Snow White. Snow White is a kind princess, and she's gentle, but she lived under the ever-watchful eye of her stepmother, the evil queen. Now, there's a lot of really kind stepmothers, but this wasn't one of them. She was jealous because Snow White was so beautiful. We shouldn't be jealous when people are beautiful. We should be like, hey, you're beautiful. Well, the evil queen wanted to kill Snow White, but she sent a huntsman to do it, and he thought Snow White was much too kind, and he couldn't do it. So she dressed up as an evil witch. What do you think she did? She gave her a poison apple. She fell into a deep sleep that could only be woken by true love's kiss. Well, what do you think happened? A prince who was betrothed to marry her came and kissed her and woke her up, and all of her friends, the dwarves, who had so kindly welcomed her into their cottage, cheered and celebrated because goodness had won. We have another princess over here. This princess is wildly independent. She loves to read, and she didn't want to marry the oafish Gaston. Who is it? That's right, it's Belle. Belle was a very kind woman, and when her father went to sell his inventions but stopped at a nearby castle and became imprisoned, she met the Beast. The Beast was a selfish prince who had been turned into a beast because he had not been kind to strangers. Well, Belle offered herself up to live at the castle in place of her father. That's so kind of her. And she grew to know that this beast could change, just like people can change. And the beast became kind-hearted, just like Belle, because Belle taught him what it was like to be kind. Sometimes we just have to teach people how to be kind, don't we? Well, they fell in love, and Belle broke the spell. That was so kind of Belle. Who's next? Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty was a princess, and when she was born, they had a party to celebrate her with three fairies, Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. Flora and Fauna gave her the gift of beauty and song, and as Merryweather was about to lay a gift upon her, Maleficent, the evil fairy, showed up, and she cursed her to die. Well, that's rude, isn't it? I don't know, they didn't invite her to her party, so... Anyways, Merryweather changed it so that she would fall asleep on her 16th birthday if she pricked her finger on a spindle. Do you think she did it? Well, they tried to hide her in the cottage, but she pricked her finger on her 16th birthday and fell fast asleep. Oh no, do you see that she pricked her finger? Maleficent does not look like a nice lady, does she? She's too happy about that. Well, Maleficent was mean, and she transformed herself into a giant dragon. Do you see the dragon? But Prince Philip, who had always liked Sleeping Beauty, came and fought for her with the sword of truth and the shield of righteousness. And he defeated the dragon, kissed his princess, and the kind woman and man lived happily ever after. Over here we have Jasmine, who was frustrated with her life in the palace with her father. She wanted to be independent, so she disguised herself as a peasant and befriended a poor street thief named Aladdin and his monkey friend Abu. Well, the sinister vizier Jafar tricked Aladdin into going into the Cave of Wonders to collect a magic lamp. Well, Aladdin got trapped inside the cave because the old man was actually Jafar and he wasn't being very nice. Aladdin rubbed the lamp, and who appeared? Genie appeared. That's right. Well, Aladdin pretended to be a prince so that he could win the hand of Jasmine. But what he learned in the end is he didn't need to pretend to be anything. He just needed to be himself. And Jasmine had already learned that lesson. Our next princess is Cinderella. Cinderella is a kind, hard-working princess. She lived with her stepmother and her stepsisters, and they made her do all the chores. They weren't very nice, but the thing about Cinderella is that she had courage and she was kind. She never complained about her work, even though it was unfair, and she always did her chores. One day, the prince decided to have a royal ball where every female was invited. Cinderella wanted to go just to be part of the party, and when she made her dress and finished her chores, her sisters ripped it apart. Well, that is not very nice. But luckily, because she was so kind, she got a fairy godmother who waved her wand and said, "Bippity, boppity, boo!" Did she transform? The cool thing about Cinderella is she's already beautiful on the inside, and then the fairy godmother let her wear a beautiful dress on the outside to represent what was inside. What's here? This is her friends Jack and Gus, who always helped her on her adventures. And here's the carriage that the fairy godmother gave her. Well, Cinderella, then the magic wore off, and she came back to being in her tattered dress. But you know what? The prince still loved her, and she still loved the prince. Because she was kind on the inside, she didn't need fancy clothes. This is Mulan. I like Mulan. When the ruthless Huns invaded China, one man from each family was conscripted to fight. Fa Mulan didn't want her father to have to go because he was too old. So she disguised herself as a man, joined the army, and fought alongside everyone else. Let's see her transformation. Here she is as Ping. She had to keep up with all the drills led by Captain Li Shang. And she joined her friends to fight and save the emperor and became the hero of all of China. Mulan is pretty cool. Oh, but this is my favorite princess. Who do you guys think this is with the tall tower and long hair? Rapunzel. Rapunzel had special magical hair that could heal people. And that's the thing about Rapunzel. She loves to help people, doesn't she? She cares about people. But an evil mother Gothel didn't care about people. All she cared about was staying young and beautiful. And it doesn't matter if you're young and beautiful. It matters that you're kind on the inside like Rapunzel. Well, Rapunzel, all she wanted to do was follow her dreams and go see the floating lanterns. So one day, when Flynn the thief came into her tower, she convinced him on her 18th birthday to go see the floating lanterns. He took her to the floating lanterns and they fell in love, and Rapunzel discovered that she was the lost princess that the whole kingdom had been looking for. And they sent out the lanterns to find the lost princess. That's pretty cool. And then she got not only a new friend in Flynn, but she got her mom and dad back. That's pretty cool. Let's see who's next. Does anyone know who this is? It's a mermaid named Ariel. Well, you see, Ariel lived under the sea with her father, King Triton. And although she loved being under the ocean with her friends, Flounder and Sebastian and Scuttle, she dreamed more than anything about being on land. She collected all sorts of treasures from humans, and she wanted to walk on two legs. One day, Princess Ariel rescued Prince Eric and fell in love with him. But then she decided, what happened? She visited Ursula the witch to get legs. That was a bad idea because Ursula is not a nice lady. So Ursula took her voice, rude, and said that she had to kiss Prince Eric before she could become a human forever. I think she should have talked to her dad and explained the problem, because I don't think you should try and kiss people you don't know. Well, let's see what happens. Oh, they went into a boat and they toured the whole kingdom, and they started to fall in love, and they didn't kiss before they fell in love. Well, that was kind of part of Ursula's plan. So then finally King Triton got involved and fought off Ursula, and Eric killed Ursula, and they lived happily ever after, but she did it the right way that time. And lastly, we have Princess Tiana, who I love because she's so hardworking. Tiana worked hard to fulfill her dream of opening a restaurant, but the dedication left little time to experience the lighter side of life. All she did was work, and she never played. So she met Prince Naveen, and Prince Naveen was all play and no work. And that got him into trouble, and he turned into a frog. So in an attempt to be a little more lighthearted, Princess Tiana kissed the frog. And what happened? She turned into a frog too. Oh no. Well, as they went through the woods, Tiana discovered that she could have more fun. And Prince Naveen learned that he needed to work harder like Tiana. And they were opposites who helped each other grow to be better people. And soon they got married as well and lived happily ever after. Well, I hope you learned a few things from these princesses of hard work is really good, true love is really special, and that you can help be kind and have courage. I hope you have a magical day.